Good evening. I'm Gary Wakenhut, and I'd like to welcome you here to the Song of the Morning for our first live stream broadcast. We're the collecting Consort, and a little later, Sandner is going to join us. The Song of the Morning Ranch is located just north of Gaylord, a little south of Mackinac Bridge. And the most important part of where we are is where we live. We're sitting right in the heart of the Pigeon River State Forest. It's a very, very beautiful place. Some of us feel it's quite spiritual as well. And this first music that we're going to share with you kind of represents the beauty of the forest here. It's called Metsukuki, or the Forest Flower Waltz. It's an old Finnish folk melody that we think speaks to what's here at Song of the Morning. For many years, I felt that a forest was big pine trees. But I've since discovered that the forest has other elements as well. And I like to think of the forest as being like what our country was before we came here from Europe and put our tire down for our Walmart parking lots and expressways and things of that nature. And it was a natural environment which we have here at Song of the Morning. There are 3 rivers that serve the Pigeon River Forest. Lots of little lakes, beautiful trees. Amongst all of it, you'll find forest flowers. In this case, our first piece of music comes from Finland, and it's called the Forest Flower Waltz, or Metsukuki. And I think you can catch the essence of the spirit that's here in the forest in this piece as it comes and goes, the winds and the gentleness, the storms. Metsukuki, the Forest Flower Waltz. Thank you. It's called Metsukuki, or the Forest Flower Waltz. And when we first found that piece of music, these instruments we're playing are primarily designed for Irish music. And we ran across that piece and we fell in love with it. And we started a little bit of research, and we thought there's got to be more music like that came from Finland. And while we do have Sibelius as classical music, we couldn't find anything else. But has become one of our favorites, and as I say, I think represents the beauty that surrounds us here at the Song of the Morning. Are you going to say something?
Yes, I was going to say, the next piece of music we're going to play is called the Loch Tay Boat Song. It's Scottish, and loch means lake in Scottish, and so this is Lake Tay. And the story goes that there was a man who was very much in love with a woman, and she didn't necessarily care that much about him. So his heart was broken. So he went out in his boat out onto the lake, and he paddled around and left his sorrow out in the lake and then came back. And as you listen to this piece of music, I feel that you can hear the waves moving back and forth. It's very swaying back and forth to the boat. So Loch Tay Boat Song.
You know, we also need to tell these people who we are.
We do?
Yes, yes. Would you like to do that?
I can remember one time when our daughter was about 5, and I was starting private practice, and I said, well, I don't know what people should call me. Oh, you know, we went through all the titles, and she said, why don't they just call you Ann? So I am Ann.
And I'm Gary. We call ourselves the Collecting Consort, and we've been providing music in various different venues around the Midwest since 1985, I think. And a little later, Steve Sandner, who is also a resident here at Song of the Morning with us, is going to do a set by himself, and then we're going to come back and we're going to finish off the concert with the three of us doing some fun pieces for you. And so, as Ann said, we're going to do right now the Loch Tay Boat Song.
Who's first? Sometimes you don't remember who's first. Who's on first? Who says it? Am I playing first?
No.
You are.
The instrument that Anne is playing is what is commonly referred to as a Celtic harp. And that's a harp for poor people, because you get the big pedal harps you see with the concert orchestra. They're about $30,000. But this instrument only runs $4,000. So for poor harpers, this is what you have. But it has a long history in Ireland. The harp was a very, very important instrument. They were a little bit smaller than Anne's, and quite often they had wire strings rather than the gut strings. But as our last piece for this set, we're going to share a piece that comes from Ireland. It's called The Star of County Down. And I thought, star in the sky type thing. But I did a little bit of research about this piece, and it refers to a woman. In Ireland, a beautiful woman was referred to as a star. And my guess is it's not the type of star that we have on our Broadway stage. That's probably where we got that term from, or the movie theater. But I think this particular star is a very, very beautiful woman, perhaps older, perhaps a little wiser. From the Celtic literature, the Star of the County Down. Thank you so much. We're going to take a quick little break here to set up for Steve's set. And Ian Wiley, who is a member of our community here, is going to talk to you a little bit about what Song of the Morning is all about.
Good evening. Good evening to you in another time if you're looking at this on YouTube, but live streamed, welcome also. Song of the Morning, founded in 1970, so we're 45 years old. And we are here to provide a place of spiritual refreshment and relaxation, to propound yoga, that is to teach it and to live in that lifestyle, and the teachings of Paramahansa Yogananda. Our founder was a direct disciple of Paramahansa Yogananda, J. Oliver Black, and he really emphasized this as a place of relaxation. That is part of yoga, part of the whole purpose is to be able to actually fully, consciously relax in the present moment. So that if you can do this in quietness, in stillness, your true nature becomes revealed. So this is actually a lot of work to relax. So we try to create a lifestyle and a community or an environment in which this is accentuated, is we mutually support each other, and we create an environment that others can come into and benefit from. So that is our purpose. The purpose of this concert is, well, we have this musical talent here, and this just has to emerge and flow. But also, it is partly a fundraiser too. That is, it's a free concert. But I get to announce here we have a rainy day fund. We're trying to protect the roofs on this property with a foam sealant and everything, and we're raising money for this structure. So it's very appropriate. We're in here, which will cost about $90,000 as I understand it. So this is part of our ongoing effort, and feel free. But this is a free concert, and it is done in the spirit of sharing and of creative expression. And in light of that, our own Steve Sandner. Thank you.
All right, well, happy to be here.
Mike, Steve.
All right. Well, thank you. Happy to be here and part of this, asked by Gary and Ann to be part of this concert. And I'm just going to do a couple of songs before we do our ensemble. And at first I thought about doing songs that had lines about birds in them. And then I thought, well, I don't know. I just kind of freewheeling it. But somebody said they liked Hoagie Carmichael, who's a famous American songwriter. And so I'll do one of his. It's called Skylark.
Let's get the mic back here for you a little bit.
I remember. I forgot the words now.
That's okay. You just hum along, Steve. Just hum along.
Skylark, have you anything to say to me? Can you tell me where my love can be? Is there a meadow in the mist where someone's waiting to be kissed? Skylark, have you seen a valley green with spring where my heart can go a journeying over the shadows and the rain to a blossom-colored lane? And in your lonely flight, haven't you heard the music in the night? wonderful music, faint as the will-o'-the-wisp, crazy as a loon, sad as a gypsy serenading the moon. Oh, skylark, I don't know if you can find these things, for my heart is riding on your wings. See them anywhere, won't you lead me there? And in your lonely flight, haven't you heard the music in the night? Wonderful music, faint as the will-o'-the-wisp, crazy as a loon, sad as a gypsy serenading the moon. Oh, skylark, I don't know if you can find these things, for my heart is riding on your wings. So if you see them anywhere, won't you lead me there? Thank you very much. I especially like to do songs from the great American. Oh, thank you. I'm used to using a mic. This is unusual for me not to be using a mic. So it's always good to have a stage manager. But as I was growing up,
Keep the place for her mother, Steve.
my dad was also a musician, and I learned all the old songs. We just thought and my musician friends thought were just good songs, and nowadays they have a name for this genre. It's called the Great American Songbook. Well, in that line of thinking, my favorite personal, if I had to pick one, there's so many great composers. Irving Berlin is one of the greatest, and he had so many great songs, but the song he wrote called Blue Skies, keeping with the theme of nature, and also mentions birds. It was written in 1928, I believe, or thereabouts, and it was in a show, and the song, the first time it was performed, had 24 encores. So it was all a popular song right off the bat. So I'll try a little bit of Blue Sky. If you know the song, you can sing along. Blue skies smiling at me, nothing but blue skies do I see. Bluebirds singing a song, nothing but bluebirds all day long. I never saw the sun shining so bright, I never saw things going so right. Noticing the days hurrying by, when you're in love, my, how they fly. Oh, blue days, all of them gone, nothing but blue skies from now on. song, nothing but bluebirds all day long. I never saw the sun shining so bright, I never saw things going so right. Noticing the days hurrying by, and when you're in love, my, how they fly. Oh, blue days, all of them gone, nothing but blue skies, nothing but blue skies, nothing but blue skies from now on. Thank you. 23 more? No, that's all right. There's a song that I wrote as a piece for Marcus Belgrave, who was a well-known jazz trumpet player who recently passed away. And we recorded 2 CDs together, and I wrote a piece for him that he played on flugelhorn on one of the CDs. By the way, we have CDs available back there that will be, part of the proceeds will be donated to the cause. And he did a great job on it, and I'll miss him. I already said he just recently passed away, and the song's called Ginger's Lament, written especially for flugelhorn, but I'll play it on piano. Yeah. Okay, I was trying to think of a backup song. I'm going to do another short piece that I need to talk. Where's my stage manager? Where's the stage manager when I need her? One time I was asked by Brother Satyananda, who was an SRF monk out in California. He was visiting Arizona, and he knew I was a musician, played piano, and he goes, well, what's your favorite chant to play on the piano? And I had to think a little bit, and I go, you know, I really like the melody, and it's very short and very, it has a very haunting quality to it. It's called When My Dream's Dream Is Done. You probably have heard it before, but I'll just give it a run through and use a different setting. All right, we'll be continuing with the next part of the concert. We're going to have a little jam session. Oh, where's my, is this my stuff?
Yes.
And I'd like to introduce you to Justine Markey, and she's going to talk a little bit about the programming, and I don't think the camera's on you yet. Hang on, Justine.
Okay. Hello. Hello. Can you hear me? My name is Justine, and I have been serving here at Song in the Morning for about a year, doing the programming and marketing in collaboration with lots of other people. And so Gary asked me to speak a little bit about upcoming programs that we have this fall. And if you haven't received our fall program guide, it's really beautiful, and it outlines all the programs that we have over the next 4 months, September, October, and November. And we also have just some special features in here that we'll also have going on, like our 3-hour meditations and just coming here on personal retreat and our evening meditations. But there's a couple retreats I wanted to highlight in particular. And the first one is our upcoming Paramahansa Yogananda retreat. It's called How to Live Like a Yogi in Our Modern Western World. And it's going to be hosted by the Golden Lotus Yoga Teachers Association. And the trainees are going to be helping to put that together, so that's exciting. And that's just going to be a really nice weekend. We have some special guests coming, including Dorothy Stingley, and also a well-known doctor who's going to be speaking just about the body and helping us learn how can we implement these different things into our life daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly in order to be a better yogi. And we also have another retreat that's going to be hosted by Song in the Morning. It's a silent retreat, and that's going to be in November. And the dates for that retreat are, let's see, Oh man, now I'm not seeing it. All right, well, November 18th through the 22nd. So if you are interested in coming and spending some time in silence, that's going to be a really beautiful 4-day retreat, and we'd love to have you. And this concert is an effort to help raise money for our Raise Our Roofs fund. The donations can be processed via phone, 989-983-4107, or you can go onto our website at songofthemorning.org/donate and make your donation there. And we really appreciate all of your support. Thank you to Ann and Gary and Steve and everyone else who helped put this together, and Joshua, all the tech support. And we really are happy to have everyone here. It's a great crowd, and we hope you enjoy the rest of the concert. Yep, thank you.
What you do is undo the round.
I'll get it in.
You gonna get it? Oh, do you want to introduce this one, Steve?
Sure.
We're going to do a trio ensemble piece with this beautiful melody that was part of the PBS series on the Civil War. And the piece sounds like it's from that era, but although it was written more recently than that. And I believe the songwriter's still alive. Is that correct? Yeah. And Jay Unger, but got to give him credit. I understand the Civil War PBS series is running right now, and it was very fascinating to watch because it was a very poignant time in our country's history. In one battle alone, Cold Harbor, I think 18,000 soldiers lost their lives. It's very, very poignant and full of bravery and very stories all over the emotional spectrum. Well, this is called Ashokan Farewell.
Did we get you up far enough?
Pardon?
Did we get you placed far enough? Pull your music back. Yeah. Stage crew did their best.
Thank
believe you know a little bit about the origin of that, how Jay Younger happened to write that piece. It's kind of it's such a beautiful piece. It's a very, very unusual piece, and it's easy to see how it took everybody's fancy, but this story seems to give it a little bit more depth.
I don't know all the details, but apparently Jay, the composer, had been to a music camp organization and had been had had a wonderful experience there, such an emotional experience that he wrote this piece of music. And I think that the name of the place was Ashokan. And in fact, he was so emotionally moved that he didn't play this piece for years. He couldn't bring himself to play it. And he is married to a woman who plays the violin, I believe. Anyway, there are a couple.
He plays piano
He plays piano. She plays violin.
and guitar, I think.
Guitar. Anyway, one of the and they're a duo. And so when they joined together, she loved the piece of music and said we must play it. So they began playing it again. And then it was put with the Civil War series.
Let's go back to the turn of the previous century. There were all sorts of European immigrants coming here to the New World to accomplish their American dream. And one family was the family of the Gersoviches. Now, Papa Gersovich never quite made it. If I remember correctly, I think he sold shoes, and he just never could quite get his act together to really, truly provide for his family. But he didn't know that he and his wife had given us probably some of the best of the American composers there ever will be. And the two boys knew that Gersovich was just not going to make it. It wasn't American enough. And what did they do? There was a comedian, and some of you who are my age remember who Ed Wynn was. And they were kind of enamored by him, and so Gersovich became Gershwin. And I don't think there's any other piece other than possibly Rhapsody of Blue that is more loved by the Americans than Summertime. You liked that one, didn't you? Yeah. Mhm. We picked it specially for you. You'll discover that if you follow the collecting consort very far, you'll find it into more beauty than the up-tempo and the jazzy type stuff. And probably no composer that had more of a capacity to improvise and make things happen than a fellow by the name of J.S. Bach. And this is our favorite little melody by Bach. It's called Arioso. Now, see, if she had one of those $30,000 harps, she would change those levers with her feet and the pedals. But she's got to reach up and flip those strings around. And I don't know whether the $30,000 harp would stay any better in tune than this one.
No, it's just the person who tunes it.
Anyhow, little Johann Sebastian Bach for you here, Arioso. Steve did a chant a little bit earlier, and we're running a little short on time here, so let's just kind of go ahead and do this one.
All right.
You want to give us the name of it, Steve?
Oh, everybody will know when they hear it. This is a chant by Ram Prasad. It's out of Yogananda's chant book, and it's one we've all sung, most of us, many times before. So we can sing along.
And those of you who are guests with us tonight, right as soon as at 8 o'clock, we're going to do an hour of meditation with some of those chants. And you're more than welcome if you'd like to sit and just shut your eyes and sense the quiet that we find at Song in the Morning. We invite you to stay with us. And we're going to think about finishing up here. And this piece of music, I shouldn't tell you the title, because it's called Christmas Eve. But Ann and I do it any season because nobody has ever heard this piece before, and so nobody knows the title, so forget that I told you what the title was. Well, it's been a real pleasure to share with you tonight, both our audience out there in the internet world and also those of you who have joined us here. Ann and I like to close our concerts with a piece of music that is actually Irish, but probably came from Scotland. There was an Irish monk, and he stole a book, or he borrowed a book that he should not have taken, and a person died as a result. And he was exiled from Ireland. This is back in the 500s. And he was put on board a boat with 11 of his followers. Interesting number, right? And they headed away from Ireland. They were supposed to go so far away that they could not see Ireland. And he ended up on the west coast of Scotland, a little place called the Isle of Iona. And we'd like to do a little piece of music that pays tribute to that monk. It's called St. Columba's Prayer.
St. Columba brought Christianity into Scotland. Christianity was not in Scotland at the time, so by being banished from Ireland, he really spread Christianity, which I think is so interesting. And the Isle of Iona is a very, very spiritual island. People come from all over the world there. We had the blessing of being there for about 5 days.
God's peace and man's peace. God's peace and Colum Kylie's on each window and on each doorway, and on each place where the moonlight enters, and on all four corners of your house, and on the place where you lay your head. May God's peace be on you. And may God's peace be on you this evening. We'd like to thank the staff of Song in the Morning who's helped us with this production, especially Joshua Clark, who's handled our audio and our technical aspects, and I hope kept us online tonight, right, Josh? Yes. And if you folks at home have enjoyed this concert, please let us know. It's kind of a little difficult for us to tell how many of you are out there. And so you can catch us on Facebook, the Song in the Morning Facebook page. You can kind of post your thoughts. Or, as Justine mentioned earlier, office at Song of the Morning is our email address. And yes, Josh, we're going to get one more promotion on the fundraiser here. Okay. So if those of you at home would like to help take care of the roofs of these beautiful buildings we've got here, please do so. And so from the Song of the Morning, we wish you a special good evening.